Namaste. What are the mistakes people do in their spiritual life? Spiritual life is the first mistake people do is they think it is very, very easy. All they just need to understand is few concepts and they are very, very spiritual across. Actually, it is very, very tough. If in spirituality, if God is the goal, then very few souls have reached the other shore of the existence. There are very, very few souls. There are billions of souls which are born. Out of that, less than 0.001% of people reach the other side. So please understand, it is more difficult than getting Olympic gold medal. People take it lightly, people take it easily, people think spirituality is what they understand. They think who I am. If you ask the question who I am, immediately you will get enlightened. Now this is possibly true for Bhagavan Ramana, but it might not be possible for you as a person. So please understand, the first mistake people do in spiritual life is they think it is very, very easy. Second mistake what people do in their spiritual life is they don't have a discipline. They don't have a routine for spirituality. Now for example, you go to Hare Krishna, they will simply say you will have to chant 50 malas of Hare Krishna every day. Now if you go to Vipassana, they will say you will have to sit in the meditation for 12 hours. Like that, people don't have a discipline, or if you are doing Sandhya Vandanam, you have to do it 4 times a day, 5 times a day. Now, people don't have a discipline. All the time they are listening to discourses, they are reading some books, they think they have become very spiritual. It is absolute nonsense. For example, Krishna says, not a leaf stays without my will, Arjuna. Now, to understand that everything moves because of God's will is a supreme understanding. Theoretical knowing is very, very different from supreme understanding. So, therefore, please don't confuse that you do not require a practice. You require a solid practice of 6 to 8 hours every day if there is going to be real progress in spiritual life. I saw a man who was a devotee of Patinathar. There is nothing wrong. Patinathar was a mystical saint who performed lot of miracles across. But the problem was, I asked him what is his spiritual routine. He said, morning I will get up and I will read some Padigam for half an hour. That's it. I asked him, do you do prayers in the afternoon? Do you do prayers in the evening? Do you do prayers in the night before you go to sleep? No, he actually does not. So the problem is, he thinks he is very spiritual, he has to become like sannyasi, the world is a very, very painful place. All that bullshit and all is there because he wants to escape the physical reality. He cannot take on the physical reality of making money and taking care of his children, the daily grind of life. He finds it very, very difficult. So he has developed an escape route. First of all, please think that if you are going to listen to some discourse and think you are going to become very spiritual, it's absolute nonsense. It is like thinking because I listen to a lecture on 10th standard, they will give me pass mark. No, you have to have a better understanding of that. All this talk about Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is not going to work unless you are going to have a daily routine of whatever you are going to do. The third one is you should have a proper theoretical understanding of the root text. If you are going to practice Advaita, then you need to read the book written by the Rama's Guru, Vashishta. It's called Yoga Vashishta, where he clearly explains the principle of Advaita. So similarly, many people don't have an understanding about the theoretical, the basic root book. For example, you might read Tiruvasagam, but the root of the thing is it is in Saiva Siddhanta, and Tirumular has written a book about the Saiva Siddhanta in a very, very clear manner. If you are going to practice Agori or Kapalika Marga, you need to read the root textbook of Matsyendranath. If you are going to follow Tibetan Buddhism, you need to understand Guha Samaja Tantra, Chakra Vamsa Tantra, Kala Chakra Tantra. Now, without understanding any of these things, people try to jump into it and people believe that they are very, very spiritual. For example, one of the biggest guru in today, he doesn't have any kind of spiritual knowledge. Neither he has read the original books, nor he has had the time. Instead, he drives in the bike, he goes meet Will Smith, and he pretends as if he is all-knowing. He has all the answers in the world. Like for example, he says, why did they draw a straight lane with the India and Pakistan? Now, India and Pakistan is supposed to fight according to the British expectation. But unfortunately, it didn't happen to that extent what they were interested about it. Like that, without understanding, he talks about all theories called Jagi Vasudev. If you see his theoretical understanding of spiritual life, of reading the original books, for example, as he read Viveka Chudamani, Ashtavakra Gita, like that, it is not there. So this is the problem with the people is, first thing is they don't have a spiritual practice. Next is their theoretical understanding is very, 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 very limited. You can easily become a guru, wear a garuva and say you are enlightened, you have reached God, and everybody has to believe it because nobody can prove it across. So this is the first, these are the three problems of the spiritual life. Taking it lightly. The second thing is always interested in lecture, discourse, not interested in practice, and not having a theoretical understanding. And very, very important thing is you need to practice lot of loving kindness in spiritual life. If you are, the Guru Padmasambhava says very beautifully, ascend with the conduct, descend with the view. Which means you need to get yourself inspired by thinking about death before your practice, before you sit on the meditation mat, or as you are sitting in the meditation mat, think about death, think about how many lifetimes you have struggled to reach God, think about a variety of difficulty and obstacle which has come, and think about, thank God for the easy availability of time and money for you to sit down and do your practice. But your practice should lead to an external expression of love, compassion and caring with people across. Now many people try to live a cloistered existence and they simply say, I don't give a damn about the world, I want to get enlightened, I want to run away about it. No, that is not true. Gautam the Buddha says very beautifully to his father before he goes to it, he says very beautifully, he said, Father, there are so many people who are suffering in life with different kinds of ailment and different kinds of delusion. I want to cure that. I want to find a path. So, for the sake of the humanity, for the sake of the world, I want to get enlightened. That is compassion. If you are not having a bodhicitta, if you are not thinking of a spiritual, what you call it as usefulness for others, instead thinking all the time, everybody should give me free, everybody should donate to me free, and I am the Swamiji. I met on Swamiji, I was amazed. So he actually said, I want my thing to be put on their website. I said, oh, very good, sir. This is the cost. He got very angry. He said, how can you ask money with the sannyasi? But how will I get that money? Where will I go for that money? There was no understanding. So stop behaving in a very, very arrogant fashion that you do not have a loving kindness, you will reach God. That is not going to happen. You need to develop a lot of loving kindness. The fifth and the most important thing, don't do too much of marketing. One small experience, immediately you trying to market, you have one very, very difficulty in marketing. And I have seen this with Sai Baba people. They go on marketing. Actually, you stop talking. you realize that your practice will show who you are as a person. Your practice will have a lot of understanding, it will lead into you. So please don't make this mistake of over marketing, over exaggerating your spiritual life across. I pray God that may all your spiritual understanding bloom and awaken, and may you really do well with your spiritual life. Thank you.